Try this again. Hi, Mike Daniels. As you guys know, I make the Maverick float kits. We've been making these float kits and flying them for almost a year now. It's something we've been doing for quite a while. Can everybody hear me now? Oh. Anyway, so we've been flying on 4-inch styrofoam balls, which were a little bit bigger than they need to be, but they're the next. If you go down a small size to the 3-inch balls are too small to float the Maverick. So we've been flying them like this for a while. We're real happy with our kits. We designed them. We worked hard to make sure that when the camera's pointed down, even that you can film without the floats popping into the camera lens and stuff. That it sets on the water right, lifts off from the water right, sets on the land right, lifts off from the land right. We did a lot of work into it. So the downside to the 4-inch balls is they take a lot of room in your bag to carry them around. And for somebody like me who's dragging this out on a kayak or a motorcycle or a bicycle, it's a lot of extra work. So we've been working on and hinting for months now about these squishy floats, or floats that can be compressed. They're 3D printed floats. They're printed out of a rubber type material. It's a urethane type material. Printed out of a product called, the initials for the TPU. And this is what we've come up with after, I don't know, I probably got over 100 versions of this float. I have tested and tested and tested them on the water, off the water, come up with particular ways that we could, use them to make them smaller to put in our bags, the Maverick, and at the same time still float it and so forth and make them reliable. So they squish. So it folds up pretty flat. If I can quit moving it around and learn how to use a camera. All right, a lot smaller than what you would get out of a styrofoam float. And you blow in the hole for the stud on the bottom and they pop back out. They hold the weight of this just fine. And they're really tough. So if you take this and you try to rip it, I mean, they're really strong. Now, it is a hollow float though, so if you cut it or whatever, it could be damaged, it could leak, so you got to make sure you inspect it before every flight, just like you should be inspecting your drone before every flight anyway. And just like my kayak and boats and flying seaplanes that I fly, everything that floats in the water that's hollow takes on a little bit of water. So these are really great. We floated them for a couple hours without taking on any water, but we can't guarantee that. So your results may vary. If you get a few drops of water in it landing in the water for the 10 or 15 minutes, we don't recommend you leave it floating for hours. It's not a big deal. They work just fine. So the printing of these has been one of the hardest process. Not just the design of the probe, but the actual manufacturing of it's been very tricky for me anyway. So I'm going to show you a video on just it's a time-lapse video of one of these things coming off the printer. So here we go, the squishy print. So this is time-lapse. It's sped up on one of my printers. That one is green. They've got support on the print bottom, which is actually the top of the float. That's where the stud goes in, and then they're hollow all the rest of the way up. The ribs that were in it are not there for cosmetic purposes, although we did try to make them as cosmetic as possible. They help provide its support. So we'll go through that one more time. And thanks, Lynn. Lynn's a good guy. Okay, now we'll come back to me. Here we are live again. So you guys that have Mavics, the Maverick float kits, you've seen this bag before. Most likely this comes with the Mavic Fly More kit, which is what I bought over a year ago, and I've been flying my Mavic for over a year. I love it. So with this Fly More kit in it right now, in this bag, I have, of course, my Maverick and the remote control. But I also have the mounts for the float kit and the floats for the float kit, all in this bag. Now, we recommend that you only squish them to half their size. This is a little tight. They still work fine, but what happens when you squish them this flat, when you blow them up, they have little dents in them. If you put them in the sun, let them warm up, they go away. It does not affect the performance. They still fly on and off the water perfect. They just don't look quite as well. So let's do an install, if I can do this here in the living room. We'll set the drone down there. We'll pull the prop locks off it, which I'll probably start selling these again too. Some people have asked about that. We'll fold it out. I'll set it down and pull out the brackets so we can show you how these work. So the brackets are the same brackets we've had before. So if you've already got a float kit, you can buy these squishy float kit, or the squishy floats without the brackets, and the squishy floats will thread on to your existing brackets. Just ask my dog Miko, he will tell you all about it. So what we're doing is, instead of the bolts that thread through the styrofoam washers, we've got these studs that we print. They're solid studs. They come off the 3D printer. They have little marks on one side of the threads, which actually helps lock them in place a little bit, so it's no big deal. No, it's not a misprint or anything. That's how they come. And you take the bracket, and you just thread this into the bracket that goes down snug. So it's got a nut in the middle of the studs, and it only goes in till the nut stops, so you can't misgauge the depth of it that way. So you put them on the brackets first. Front brackets with the stud. Front brackets with the stud. Okay. And done the mounting video before, but here we go again. So you take the rear mount and you pinch it like this on one side, and then you pick the other side and pinch it closed like that. You don't squeeze them both at the same time. That just pushes the rubber mounts in that are in the middle of the Mavic, the little plastic skids that we attach to. So squeeze each side to it. Then our mounts have front printed on them, and the front faces the front of the drone. If the front is not facing the front of the drone, you're putting them on backwards. So let's see if I can get it on. There we go. Normally I do this on a flat table, but since I'm on my couch today, I don't have my flat table. There we go. Then we take our squishy floats, pull them out of the bag. It's my green ones. Tilt the camera just a little bit more. You can see it's squished pretty flat, like that. You take it, open it up, and blow into it. It comes out. It has a couple little dents in it because it's been squished flat for so long. Still works just fine, and like I said, if you warm it up some or put it in the sun, the dents do come out of it. There's that one. Now we'll do the orange ones. Blow that out and set it there. Blow that out, set that there. And we just thread them on. So they just got standard threads, and for our stud kit, it threads in. Don't over tighten them, just thread it in until it stops. Put any color combination you want. They can all be white, they can all be orange, whatever other colors we print. I like to do different colors, so green in the front, orange in the back, or green in the front, or orange in the front, white in the back I've done. We do a couple different colors. And it goes on just like that. And it sets fine on the ground, it sets fine in the water. The reason I like the different colors, I just got sidetracked, sorry. The reason for the different colors is it makes it easier. So the bright floats like this, we really like these kind of transparent green and orange ones and that because the sun comes through them and they light up really bright. And we may put LEDs in them in the future, just a thought. But when you get it up in the air, the floats make it really easier to see than just the Mavic drone by itself in the air. And this thing's pretty small. If you get it a ways away from you, it's harder to see. It gives you a little bit better visibility at distance. But putting the green on the front and the orange on the back are different colors. Now at a distance, it's easier to tell which way is front and rear. Like if your camera drops out or something and you can't see what way the camera's facing, sometimes it's hard to tell where the front and the rear is on these. Of course, the lights give it away, but if it's far enough away, the floats I find have been a great aid in that for orientation purposes. Now, obviously on my couch, I can't show you this flying. I'm not really set up to set it on the ground and show it to you on the ground. So what I've done is I've prepared just a quick video of some of the flying that my buddy Aaron, who's been helping me design these and Don's been helping me design them as well. But Aaron and I did some flying the other day over at his place on the lake, and we shot some video, and it's just quick video. It's nothing special, nothing really crazy, but it shows you what it behaves like when it's flying, how it lands in the water, and just how they look. So we'll go to the video here. So here's the flight video. Enjoy. Of course, I'm still here talking, but hopefully you can hear me now. I'm thinking you can. I'm going to have a root beer in the background. That's it landing on the water. My favorite thing about that landing on water, and I'll play it again to show you, but I don't know if you showed us the bird. Notice the bird flying away? Bird dropped into the water and grabbed a fish or something. Here's Aaron and I. We're flying around, landing on the lake by his house. Can everybody hear me? I hope. So getting used to new software here. Lynn's an old pro at this, so I'm glad he's here to kind of give me some moral support. So it's him flying around. Here's a slow-mo video that we shot one Maverick with another Maverick. And so it's just, yeah, just flying around, kind of a slow-mo, just so the props are slowed down a bit. And we were actually doing a follow here. So I've had a hard time getting one Maverick to follow another Maverick on an active track. But amazingly enough, it will active track on the floats. This is an orbit shot. My Maverick orbiting around my buddy's Maverick. The camera cover. I can provide a link for you if you want. The camera covers, I like it too, because it doubles as a, I'll show you here in a minute when we're done with the video, but it doubles as a cover and the gimbal lock. And I got it on Amazon. It was like $3 or something. I mean, it was worth every penny. I mean, I would print them, but for the hours it takes to print it, it's just not worth it. So here we are flying around in the sunset. Beautiful sunset over there. Aaron's drone flying off. So this is the last of this video. If I show it one more time, I want you to watch in the first scene when the Maverick lands in the water. Watch the bird land over to the right of your screen and pull something out of the water. Right here, this one. So watch over on the right. Right after the drone lands, see the bird coming in? Watch him. Didn't even know we caught this till I was editing this video. And he comes up with a fish or whatever he's got and flies off. Oh, we love living in Florida. Thanks, Don. So there we go. Some more flying around. It's the same flying video. I guess we'll watch through some of this again. It was 2 minutes. I try to keep all my videos at 2 minutes except for the live ones, and I always long-winded, and they always end up going like 20. And this one's at 13:40, but I'm going to try not to go longer. Sorry for the false start for those of you that were there, and for those of you who came back, thanks for coming back. We think that's a great addition to the kit. It does have some pros and some cons, which we'll cover here in a minute. Okay, so when we're putting together a video with the squishy floats, similar to the video we did with the regular floats. There's a slow-mo that Aaron did. Shot that with his iPhone, if you believe that. Any rate, so we're putting together a video, like I said, and we're going to release another video about using the squishy floats and some flying with them and some, some dramatic music and stuff, similar to what the original video was for this. There's Aaron flying back to the dock with a little battery and flying off in the sunset. Okay, so now back to me. This is the last scene I got, or the last portion of this video, as we're going to discuss this a little bit more. So we'll start out with the camera chat. So, Gary Dillard had said something about the camera cover. So this is my camera cover. I broke the original camera, the gimbal cover for the Mavic. This one, I was looking for a replacement on Amazon, and I bought this one, although I printed a couple. I wanted something better. And this one doubles as a gimbal lock. It's got the fingers in that'll lock it, and it makes a nice little cover. I really, really like it a lot. I think it was like $3 or something. When I think about it, I'll add a link to this when I post this to the page. Still a bit tricky, but not quite as tricky as what the Maverick one was. So at this point, I'll answer any questions you guys got as well, but we're going to discuss some pros and cons. They're listed on the website. These floats are on the website as complete kits and as upgrades for your existing kits. I have not put any in stock, and I've not taken any back orders yet, but I have them in stock, and when I'm done with this video, I'm going to put some in stock. We'll see how they sell. Any ideas for colors, please send me colors. I've got some solid red ones printing now. I printed a few solid white ones like the one I showed you. Of course, we've got the transparent orange and the transparent green ones. So I like them a lot better than the styrofoams. And although I have only been flying with this particular design a few weeks, the predecessors to this design, I've got some of these squishy floats. I've been flying basically on squishy floats that I fold up and stuff into my bag and fly around. And I live in Florida, tons of water. I live in Lake County, Florida, no less. Lots of lakes here, lots of water. I never fly over water without them. I do a lot of kayaking. I fly them off the kayak. But I've been flying squishy floats for over 6 months now. They're very durable. They're a great product. All of my stuff, the float kits and these floats, offer a 1-year warranty on them. So if one fails, you got a leak, your bracket breaks, something happens. I mean, I do everything I can to make sure everything I send out is strong and capable of doing what it needs to do. The Maverick only weighs 1.6 pounds, so it's all built a little light because the heavier I make it, the less flight time you get. But I do have a 1-year warranty. You fill out the warranty form on the webpage, send me a couple pictures of the part, I'll send you a new part. It's not a big deal. I'm really good about that. Oh, I'm blowing them up again. Okay. Pros and cons. Styrofoam doesn't look as pretty, but the styrofoam floats, you will never sink a styrofoam float unless you put on something heavy to it that is heavier than the float can support. They will never leak. They will never absorb water. It's closed cell, smooth styrofoam. They are awesome. You can never sink one. They're pretty reasonable. I buy them at a decent price, and it doesn't add too much to the price of the float kit that I make with them. The squishy floats, on the other hand, the material's pricier than the material that we print the brackets out of, this polyurethane flex type material we're using. It takes, to print one kit, it takes one printer 8 hours to print 4. And that requires me changing it, because you got to print them one at a time with the way we're doing it. It's the only way we can get it to work and seal and be consistent every time. So I got to change it every 2 hours. I got to rotate the floats, change the prints. And as you know, I've got a real job, another business that I actually own. This was just a hobby that kind of took off. I do make some money with the drones. I've done some commercial drone work in that, and I'm a licensed airplane pilot and a commercial drone pilot and all of that. But so these cost more. So if you're wondering why the cost, well, it's a little more per money in material, about twice as much for the material, but it's also a lot of time on the printer. So this is holding up the printers, and I've got a new printer I bought, and I'm probably going to end up getting another printer before it's over with, but I don't have that much room. I don't have a print farm. I guess I need an airplane hangar and an airplane and some stuff. So buy a lot of them so I can buy an airplane. Just kidding. So they're hollow. They can take on water if they get damaged. We haven't damaged any yet. We've had good luck. I test them all before I ship them. And the styrofoam floats will never leak. The styrofoam floats are lighter. These weigh a few grams more than the styrofoam floats do. Now, actually, the float itself weighs a fair bit more than the styrofoam float, but with the styrofoam float comes the bolt that we use to do it. So when you take the bolt, the washer, and the float out and compare it to this, you're just a couple grams difference versus this and the stud that holds it on. Thanks, Gary. Looking forward to seeing your order. By the way, if you use Mike Flies, all in capital letters, like that, you get a discount on top of the sale price anyway. It's going to be on them. Well, like I said, I'm going to put them up for sale right after this. I guess that's it. That's the squishy float thing. There'll be more to come, more videos on that to come. At the request of some other people, I'm going to start doing some videos and some stuff on some 3D printing that will also be on the Mike Flies website. We've got a blog there now. I hope you like the new site. I've been working hard on that as well. Anybody else have any other questions? Yeah, it is the biggest benefit, Don. You're correct. They squish up nice for transportation, and I drag them with me everywhere. I love the Mavics so much that I take it with me everywhere I go. I take it in the truck, I take it on the motorcycle, on the bicycle. Even if I don't use it, if the wife and I are going to the store, I throw the Mavic in and drag it along. Just in case. You just never know. I might see something I have to fly around and take some pictures of. Every once in a while, I think I'm going to get a Phantom 4 for my commercial drone work, because I got rid of my big drone last year. And thinking Phantom 4 Pro, because I know if I had a little bit better camera, I might get a little more work. But, you know, it's hard to beat the portability of the Maverick. I don't know how I'd carry a Phantom 4 on my motorcycle to go to a job. So, we'll see. DJI is making the big announcement here in another week or two here towards the end of the month. And we'll see if it's going to be a folding Phantom 5 or Mavic 2. But from all the hints I keep seeing on the internet, it's going to be a folding drone. So, we'll see how that goes. Well, hope you guys like them. Hope you try them. Please give me some feedback. You can reach out to me on Twitter, Mike_Flies, Instagram, Mike_Flies, Facebook, Mike_Flies. All the links are on my webpage, MikeFlies.com. You can send me messages from the website. I want to know, what colors do you want? What do you think about them? You think it's a good idea? You think they cost too much? Whatever. Go ahead and let me know. There's not much I can do about the price at this point, but I'm always looking at ways to maybe reduce prices, cost of what we do. If you got ideas for that, let me know. So, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in. Those of you that did, take care, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.